Hey guys, welcome to Ticks and Matches Game, where we try to turn our hindsight to your foresight. Welcome, and today we're going to be talking about why you matter. It's interesting. We here trying to turn hindsight into foresight, and all of us have lived an interesting life. But it's interesting how sometimes people don't believe how that they, in the grand scheme of things, that you make a difference, that you matter. Some people sometimes we look at ourselves like, oh, you know, I'm not as talented as this person, or I don't have any value, or my dream is not as big as this person, or my dream is not as small as this person. I'm not doing as much as this person, etc., etc. And in that sea of seeing so many people doing something, we sometimes think that in the grand scheme of things, we have no effect in the game that we're in, no effect in the world that we're in. It's like I have talents, but where my talents are taking me, I do not know. And in one of our previous videos, in one of our Had I Knowns, we spoke about why comparison is the thief of joy. And ultimately, when it comes to how do we matter, we do matter. You just being alive, you just being there matters. Even if you look at your hand, you look at your palm, look at your fingertips, and you realize that this fingerprint I have, out of 7 billion people in the world, 10 billion by the way we're going, there's not one person in the world that has this fingerprint. There's no person that has the same shape as you. There's no person that has the same genetic makeup as you. Even twins are different. You're not going to have the same scars. You're not going to have the same thing. No one's going to have the same first, last, middle name and everything. They're not going to be born from where you were born. They're not going to have the life experiences that you have. And in turn, they're not going to be able to bring to the table what you bring. Like, for all the inventions that we have, for everything that we've got, for their people have come with their own ideas, people come with their own things, and just you being in the room, just you being alive, just you being here means a lot. You don't understand the number of people's lives that you've impacted. If you've heard in one of our previous videos where we talked about the 6 degrees of separation, some of the people I've met in this life have been by virtue of me making a random decision to walk down there and then go and meet that person. And that person impacted my life in a different way. And ultimately, I hope that I impact people's lives in that way. But even if you're not getting the problem that we have as human beings sometimes is, one, that we don't give each other the accolades or the praise when we're here. It's mostly when we die that we remember the people who were doing stuff for us. But two, for ourselves, sometimes when we question ourselves about how much effect that we have, that's the reason why, like, when people talk about voting, it's like, oh, it's not going to make a difference. Oh, calling out BS, oh, it's not going to make a difference. Applying to Cambridge or applying to one, it's not going to make a difference. Applying to that job, they're not going to hire me anyway. Going for that interview, then, no, it doesn't matter. And we have this defeatist mentality towards ourselves that in the grand scheme of things, you can't make a difference. And this also comes down to the way we see ourselves. And self-belief is a very important thing. I do very much believe that your attitude will sometimes determine your altitude. And if you don't believe in yourself, that's okay. That's okay if you don't believe in yourself. I'm not going to stand here and tell you to convince you to believe in yourself. But sometimes you have to fake it till you make it. Now, sometimes we don't believe in ourselves because we've compared ourselves to somebody else, or we're not doing it as good, or we might not be getting the praise and validation along the way for what we're doing. And what you need to do in those moments is that you have to just believe in those that have believed in you. If you can't believe in yourself, believe in those who believe in you, until you finally believe in yourself. Because the truth of the matter is that for you to take the next level for yourself, you must be able to either apply some set of belief that, at least to start, what is going to happen, you don't need to know. I like the parable in the Bible, whether you look at the parable of the 3 guys who were given talents, or the 3 people who were given coins. Given 1 coin, 3 coin, 5 coin. The servant was also 1 talent, 3 talent, 5 talent. Now the one with 1 coin went and buried it. The person with 3 coins and the person with 5 coins went out there and then they doubled their money. Now the issue is that some of you may have 3 coins, some of you may have 1 coin, some of you may have 5 coins, but because you're not ready to just go for it and believe that you can now go out and do something with it. I'm waiting low-key for somebody to come and tell you that, oh, my G, you can do this. And sometimes the issue that we have is that in society we've grown up in, we have more people putting us down than we have people putting us up. And it's important that when you come into yourself and understanding that you do matter to the grand scheme of things, it's about understanding that you don't reinforce those things. You don't come and tell yourself you're trash, you're all this, you can't do this. Now, sometimes, yes, if that's not your talent, it's not your talent. But some of you won't realize what potential you may be able to bring to the table unless you actually give it a shot. I think I said in a previous video, or I think it's a video that's coming up, this is 2020. 10 years ago, 2010, I was in Nigeria getting flogged. Out in the sun, just living a simple life, and now I'm here. Most of you, if you actually reflect on the last 10 years, on the last 15 years, where you were 5 years ago, you actually realize you've done quite a bit and you actually come far a long way. And some of you, the issue of why you don't believe you matter is because some of you, you've not given yourself enough credit. You've not given yourself enough credit for the struggles you've overcome, for the trials and tribulations you've overcome to get to the point that you are at now. So you're asking, why do you matter? You matter for the sheer fact that you're alive. You matter that because of the sheer fact that you exist. And even if it's one person's life that you impact in this world, it means enough. There's some people who've impacted my life by virtue of somebody 10 degrees of separation that impacted their life. And sometimes we might not remember their name, and they may not remember your name, but you need to understand that, 1, you are blessed to bless others. You're here for a reason, and that your reason will come to you if you pursue it, if you actually give it a shot. The ultimate truth is that no growth happens within inside your comfort zone, and that understanding that you matter and that you do have some value to bring and that you can make a difference, provided you try. Because the world as it is right now was shaped by people who believed they could make it different. The world as you see today is not the same world as it's always been. The world as you see today is because of decisions people have made. The reason why the camera was designed the way, the reason why this chair was designed the way, the reason why I look the way I look, in terms of clothing, is because somebody has decided and believed in their own ability and believed in and gone ahead and said that, no, I'm going to put a stamp on my authority on this. Now, when you come into this game and you come into this life and you understand that your own purpose and your own vision is something that you will discover along the way. Some people discover it earlier than others, some people discover it along the way, but you need to take risks to understand what's right and what's wrong. Whether you believe in God or you believe in life, ultimately everyone here is here for a reason. And to be able to fulfill that, you have to believe in your ability to go for it. You have to believe that you matter enough to be here. Sometimes a lot of us go through imposter syndrome. I know there was a time that I didn't believe that I mattered. There was definitely a time I didn't believe that I mattered. But now, I do believe I matter. And I believe that I'm here for a reason. And I believe that, listen, the day I go, I hope that I've tried my best to fulfill that. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue developing, continue getting better, continue telling myself that I am better, but at the same time calling myself out where I need to develop. Be self-aware, but try to believe in yourself and believe in your ability, because you matter. You're made up of solid, gas, liquid. That's all matter, so you matter. Come on, guys. So when you ask yourself, can I make a difference? When you ask yourself, will this change because I'm here? Just by the sheer fact that you've been in that room can make a difference. And my aim every time when I walk into a room is that there was a reason for me to be there. And regardless of whether you sat at the back, regardless of whether you sat at the front, regardless of whether you're the loudest in the room, regardless of whether you're the quietest in the room, regardless of whether you're the one with all the ideas or you're the person who just supports, regardless of if you're the one that has all the technical ability, even if you're the one that has no talent in your mind, because everyone has talent, everyone has a skill, everyone has something they're good at. The question is, at what point do they find it? This life is ultimately a journey. I hope you're enjoying the ride, but just remember, it can always get worse, but it can always get better.